Shalom, everybody. Please get yourselves ready. Microphone people, this is not loud enough. I don't know if you're paying attention, but it's not on. We have to get started. There are people at home who are not partying with us that don't, there we go, thank you, that don't understand why we don't start when we're supposed to. It is a new year. Let us begin on time. Some people were confused and already sent texts thinking that it should have been at 5. So there you go. Who has a watch? What time is it? 6:29. I'm so proud of us. Pat yourselves on the back. Last time we had dinner here, we didn't start till 6:40 because everyone was in the bathroom and talking over there. So. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. It is our first service of this new secular year of 2023. So if you take the 2 and wipe out the 0 and the 2 and the 3 and you add them up, that's 7 in Gematria. So it's going to be a good year. 7 days of creation, 7 days of all that is worthy of love and life and unity and goodness, Tov. So let that be our mission and our prayer and our wish, not only for ourselves and our community, but the world as well. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Hine ma tov, page 128. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, ya la la, ya la 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 la. Hine ma tov, ya la la, ya la 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 la. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Shevet achim gam yachad. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So I'm standing up here and I can't help but be reminded that a couple of days ago I had my family here and my granddaughter, and she goes to Jewish preschool, and so she loves the Torah, and so I said, do you want to see Grandma's work? And do you want to see where Grandma films Grandma TV? Because she watches on YouTube. So she was so excited to see it all, and the American flag and the Israeli flag. And then we opened up the ark, and oh, she was so happy, and she wanted to kiss the Torah scrolls and all that. And then we held her up here, and we took some pictures, and she's like, it's Grandma TV. Who knew when I kept paying for my Screen Actors Guild card, it was so I could do Grandma TV. For Temple Emet. So anyway, we are going to kindle the lights of Shabbat. Marcia is going to come forward. We had a wonderful dinner. Thank you, Marcia, for being the hostess with the mostest for us. And have you seen all the programs we have going on? That's Marcia. And Diana will be listing them in her announcements. But, you know, we have the Shakespeare at the Sea coming up on Sunday. We have Lunch Bunch next week. We have 80 for Brady, the movie coming up in February. What was that? Well, that was a Chabad thing, so we cannot be blamed for that. Well, okay, so did it pass? I don't know. I'll take a look at it when I get home and we'll send it.
It's on the 26th.
Okay, well, here, hold on. Let me give you the microphone because she is the program lady.
I think it's January 26th. And it's, yes, it does. At the bottom, it says you have to RSVP to the PV Chabad. Yes.
Okay.
What?
Okay, so contact the PV Chabad.
It's the PV Chabad. You go to their website and you sign up for it.
You know, normally we don't advertise other synagogue things, but we felt that it was something that would be of interest to everyone. And so...
Yeah, there were two things I just passed along that other organizations, Jewish organizations in our community are doing, I thought might be of interest to our community.
Okay, so we'll discuss this offline because the live stream people don't want to hear about this. So please talk with Marcia afterwards. And I'm glad that you're interested in it, and it's good information if we need to make a correction.
But one thing, though, I am in charge of activities, and please RSVP to me if you want to attend. Don't just simply reply to
info@Temple Emet. Yeah, because what's happening is that your RSVPs are going to info@Temple Emet when you get the email, and down below it'll say contact Marcia at e-ticket or whatever it is. And so please do that, because then people slip through the cracks and then they don't get, counted. And of course, everybody needs to be counted, so. All right, so that being said, we want to count ourselves among the messengering angels of those that are actually keeping Shabbat. So we're going to kindle the lights. We have the 2 candlesticks for the divine partnership of us and Adonai, Am Yisrael, and also all of us as a loving community and as friends. So take a deep breath in, clear out the schmutz that came to this very moment, blow it out, and let us prepare ourselves for sacred worship and to embrace the light. And a lot of times the candles don't and the lights don't want to cooperate. So let us focus on that light as we connect to our light within our own being. Make 3 circles, making order out of the chaos and bringing that light towards our heart and our soul and our being. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Turn to someone next to you and say Shabbat Shalom. Turn to someone who might have just walked in that's new. Welcome, Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Marcia, for creating such wonderful programming for us. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you. Okay, so speaking of those angels, page 142, we will sing Shalom Aleichem. Thank you to our wonderful musicians that are here to support us in all that they do to make our music spiritual and festive. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharei, Malachei Elyon. Malachei Hamelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Malachei HaShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mimelech Malachei Hamelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei Hamelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Sechem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei Hamelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And now if you'll turn to page 138, we have Lacha Dodi, and we will rise on the 9th verse and turn and face the door and welcome in that Sabbath bride. So we'll do verses 1, 5, and 9. But first, we're going to sit down. We're going to rise on verse 9. Are we ready? L'chadadi. L'chadadi. L'chad kala. L'nei Shabbat nekabla. L'chadadi. L'chad kala. L'nei Shabbat nekabla. La 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 l'chadadi. L'chad kala. L'nei Shabbat nekabla. L'chadadi. L'chad kala. L'nei Shabbat nekabla. Shamor v'zachor v'dibor echad, hishmi anu el hanichad, Adonai echad, Shema echad, L'Shem l'tiferet v'leidihi la 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 l'chadodi, l'chad kala, l'nei Shabbat nekabla, l'chadodi, l'chad kala, l'nei Shabbat nekabla. Verse 5. Hitoreri, kiva orek uri, shidaveri, kevod Adonai, like la 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 hadodi, l'chad kala, l'nei Shabbat nekabla, l'chadodi. L'nei Shabbat nekabla. Verse 9. Ba'wi v'shalom ateret ala, gam v'simcha v'sachala, ta'chamle am segula, v'ichala v'ichala. L'chadodi, l'chad kala, l'nei Shabbat nekabla. L'chadadi, l'chad kala, l'nei Shabbat nekabla. L'nei Shabbat nekabla. L'nei Shabbat nekabla. Shabbat shalom, please be seated. And now we're going to move to page 144 for the Hatzi Kaddish, which separates the Kabbalat Shabbat warm-up of our spirit and our soul portion and the official call to worship, the Baruch Hu. We have new people that have joined us since our last Hebrew class, and we have some people that have contacted me that are interested in converting. It's a good idea before you go to the Beit Din to say, oh yes, I've been learning how to identify the Hebrew letters and to make the connection and to meditate upon them and to read them as amongst the prayers in the Hebrew. Hilda over here loves to fill in for me and teach Hebrew in person. So my question to those of you, please, we're hoping to start at the end of February. So, because someone wants to take it that's going to be out of town. So would you please email me, those of you that are at home and live stream, those of you that are here, if you want to learn the Hebrew letters and meditate upon them, which will be the beginning part of the course, and then transfer to the reading of the prayers. It's not conversational Hebrew, it's just reading the prayers so that you don't have to look at the transliteration. I would suggest for everyone that participates, whether it's musically or in the service, it's a very strong meditation. So even if when you look at the letters and you make the connection, that connects your spirit and your soul from the physical realm to the spiritual realm. You get more, whether you realize it or not, out of your worship experience. If you will note, I've been doing this for almost 30 years. Well, maybe not 30. Let's not date me. But I look at them because every time I look at these letters, there's a different powerful energy that is manifested within my own spirit. And so if you would email me and let me know if you want to take the course and if you want to do it in person or on Zoom. If you feel it's important, like there's one person here who's taken it several times, but it's really hard on Zoom. We did it during COVID because there's a lag. And when people are saying the prayers aloud or trying to sing them or to read the line, it gets distorted. So let me know. What we may end up doing is doing it here in person, but not in the classroom, and maybe we can record it and live stream it if we do it in this room to people who are at home. But please let me know, because we are going to do it. There's people who want it, and it's a great way to manifest energy in our spirit and our being. That being said, we're going to the Hatzi Kaddish, which is all in Hebrew, which happens to be the majority of the mourners' Kaddish. Listen to the words and see the connection. So, page 144. Yitgadal v'yikadash shemei Rabba ve'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayedecho beit Yisrael v'gala v'gala v'zman karivim erech Yehei shemei Rabba mevarach Le'alam lo me'almaya Yiparach v'yishtabach v'yipar v'yitramon v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yithalal shemei dekudashah v'rechu le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata tishbechata v'nechemata damihiran v'alma v'yimaru Amen. And the Baruch Hu can be found on page 146. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la. Please be seated. You know, the interesting thing about Judaism and the Torah, we read that Torah over and over again, year after year after year. And every year, what we bring to it is different because we are different. And it's the same thing with looking at the Hebrew letters. You can do the transliteration, you can sing it from rote, but even, there are people who have done it, with me, I don't know, 3 or 4 times already. It never gets old. Like whenever you connect to the letter, it's going to trigger something inside your own being that you don't even realize. Like at High Holy Days, when we do the Yeshamnu and we, pound on our chests for the sins, we may not know, which sin we're on when we're singing it and chanting it, but our soul does. And you add another dimension, another layer, when you are actually looking at the letter. You don't have to be, extremely proficient at it, but just making that focus, it's like beaming up Scotty, focusing on each letter. In February, we're going to begin our second Saturday service again, and Crystal Holtz is going to be the 10 Commandments, and she's going to be pointing to the scroll as I'm chanting it. So as you learn how to do this, then you don't even have to chant the Torah, but you can come up and participate and do that and have a whole other layer. It's good, especially as we get older, it keeps our mind fresh and alert to be able to focus on this. So, and you don't have the pressure of learning another language, it's just these individual letters. So, that being said, we are going to do the reading of the Hebrew of the Ma'ariv Aravim prayer on page 148. Let us first read Underneath it, the English that is most closely aligned with the actual meaning of the text. Bottom of page 148. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Sevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bivaro ma'ariv aravim, v'chochma poteach she'arim, uvitbuna meshane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umisader et hakochavim, v'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mivnei choshech, v'choshech mivnei or. Umavir yom, umevi layla, umavdil ben yom uvein layla. Adonai Sevaot Shemo, El Chai v'Kayom, Tamid Yimloch Aleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, Hamari Varavi, Mahavad Olam on page 150. Everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah, mitzvot, laws, and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws, your commandments, and rejoice in your Torah forever. Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadata, otanu limadata. Ve'avatecha al tasir, v'imenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Yisrael, Eloheinu Amo And now on 152 and 153, our Shema. If you'd like to stand, please do, or be seated. However you can make that connection to the divine within you and around you as we celebrate the majesty of God. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Adonai Echad. Adonai Echad. Please be seated and turn to the Ve'ahavta on the next page. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavecha v'chol nafshecha v'chol me'odecha v'hayu ha'devarim ha'eleh asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'nivarta bam v'shivtecha v'veitecha v'v'lechtecha v'derech v'v'shochtecha v'v'kamecha v'kashartam lod al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha v'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha v'visharecha Leman tizkaru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hiyatem kedoshim le'Elohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti echem me'eretz Mitzrayim v'hiyot lachem le'Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem Emet. And looking at the Ve'ahavta, I'm thinking about how whenever we've had the B'nai Mitzvah classes or the confirmation classes, everyone loves this prayer. How many in this room did not have a bar bat mitzvah or a confirmation, or we have our master scholar section, that would want to have one? Raise your hand so that I can see if we should have another adult B'nai Mitzvah class. If nobody wants one. Okay, I see 1, 2. Okay, well, if you want one, let me know. So yes? It's the reaffirmation that you want to continue with the learning and the life and the commitment to Torah and Judaism. So like in Reform Judaism, especially with young people, you know, your parents make you have your bar and bat mitzvah, and the idea in 10th grade-ish, you have the confirmation. And that's saying, okay, I'm going to take more responsibility for myself. And even as an adult, it's another way to just still keep learning. But it's the next step after making the connection to the Hebrew. So now, if you will turn onto the top of page 157, we have the reading right before the Michamocha. If you want to dance and the Michamocha, please do be careful if there's things in your way. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught. For forever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go it is eternally Egypt, and that there is a better place, a promised land, and that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, yad v'yad, and marching together yachad. Michamocha, page 158. a light of spirit. Woo! ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגלום לחזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני God Israel. Vishamru, please turn to Vishamru on page 162. Vishamru v'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם בברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל עוד היא לעולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ וביום השביעי שבת שבת וינפל שבת שבת וינפש שבת שבת וינפש. Those who keep Shabbat by calling it a delight will rejoice in your realm. Please rise if you're able for the Amidah on page 164. Adonai Sefetai Tiftahu fi yadi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor, V'Hanurah, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, Yekonei HaKol, Mezocher Hastei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevidu La Livnei V'Nehem, Leman Shemo V'Yahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach Mabin, Baruch atah Adonai, Magin Avraham V'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei Metim Atah Rav Lehoshia, Mashiv HaRuach U'Morid HaGashem, Mechalkel Chayim B'Chesed, Mechayei HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofei Cholim, U'Matir Asurim, U'Mekayem Emunato L'Shenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'al Gevurot, U'Midom Elach, Melech Mevit U'Mechayeh, U'Matzmiach Yeshua, V'Ne'eman atah l'Chayot HaKol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayei HaKol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, v'kadoshim b'chol yom, yahalelucha tzela, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Please be seated. And so, Shabbat Shalom. This Shabbat is, does anyone know what the Torah portion is? Well, you guys got Mark's Torah study email, I think. Va'era, it's Parsha Va'era, so Shabbat Shalom. So in it, we're actually, we get it a little early. we get to experience the moments of the plagues as they actually fall within our Torah. And so it is written, God spoke to Moses and said, I am the Lord. I appeared to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob as God. I established my covenant with them to give them the land of Canaan. I have heard the moaning of the Israelite slaves, and I have remembered my covenant. Say therefore to the Israelites, I am the Lord. I will redeem you with an outstretched arm, and I will do this through miracles. I will take you to be my people, and I will be your God. You shall know that I am God. I am the God who freed you from your labors in Egypt and gave you the land promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And you have to remember, how many years were we working as slaves and under Egyptian rule? I mean, this is a promise that was a long time coming. God tells Moses to take his brother Aaron with him to help speak on his behalf, because Moses, remember, had an impediment. He stuttered, and he was concerned that, Pharaoh wouldn't take him seriously or the message itself. The Lord replied to Moses, I place you in the role of God to Pharaoh with your brother Aaron as your prophet. You shall repeat all that I command you, and Aaron shall speak to the Pharaoh. But I will harden Pharaoh's heart so that I may multiply my signs and marvels in the land of Egypt, and the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord when I deliver the Israelites from their midst. Moses was 80, so think about it. He's charged with this mission. We should all be so lucky to have such an important mission at 80. And Aaron was 83 when they made their demand on Pharaoh. Mark record, they were younger than you. And I say this with the greatest of kavod, of intention and honor and respect, because he does so much. You do so much, just like God telling Moses what to do. You are our Moses. Mark, that is your Hebrew name, Moshe. Oh, what was it? Mordechai. Oh, your big moment's coming in a couple of months. Well, now you have two. We have to have a Hebrew naming for you, and I'll add Moshe to your... So, 7 of the plagues that we recite on Passover are placed upon the Egyptians, and each time Pharaoh's heart is hardened, and he refuses to let the Israelites go. We know the story. We talk about it at Passover. Pharaoh's magicians are actually able to replicate some of what Moses manifests. So Pharaoh doesn't pay any attention. He takes no heed to it. Moses' rod and staff turns into a serpent. Well, the magicians, so do theirs. The plagues of water, the river turning to blood, and the frogs, well, the magicians were also able to do that. But when it got to the lice, who wants lice? Not me. The magicians tried to produce them with their spells, but they could not. Then acknowledging, this is the finger of God. But Pharaoh still doesn't listen. So then insects are sent to swarm, affecting all of the land except in Goshen, where the Israelites dwelt. Pestilence affected the Egyptian livestock, and the people were just ridden with boils, so much so that the magicians couldn't even deal with Moses because they had all these boils all over them, but to no avail. Even though the Israelites were spared all of this, Pharaoh's heart remained hardened and immovable. Have you ever encountered a situation, and this is where I like to take the Torah and make it valid and real for today, a situation with someone where no matter how much you pleaded or tried to make sense to them, they wouldn't listen? Anybody experience that? Even if it's to their own detriment, they won't listen. Anyone experience that? It's not that you're arrogant or all-knowing, you just have experience and you know, but do they want to hear it? No. Do they want to listen? No. In a sense, they're hardened to your message. God says he will harden Pharaoh's heart so that his miracles will be manifest and people will know that he is the one true God. And yet, we have to wonder, why do we have to endure all of the pain and the suffering and the chaos and the drama to get to the promise? The miracles, the signs, and the wonders are there. So why don't we just open up our eyes, open up our hearts, open up our minds to see and avoid all the destruction and the chaos that is racked upon our lives? God warned Adam and Eve in the garden, but what happened? They had to see for themselves. Maybe it's human nature to need to take the more challenging path in order to experience the hardship, because in doing so, that's how we learn. Buddhism states that we should suffer so that we can know happiness. And this actually holds true in Judaism and the mystical side in Kabbalah, because the Kabbalists believe that we should accept hardship. We should surrender to the chaos and say, bring it on, bring on the suffering so that I can ascend in my character and that my soul's journey can evolve in my cocoon. I can go up that ladder and be the best that I can be in this lifetime by overcoming the pain and the turmoil and the drama that I am enduring. For some, though, maybe it's just all a part of God's ultimate plan. This is what happens, this is what I got to deal with. Okay, let go, let God, I surrender, I'll deal with it. Lessons are hard and they're difficult to endure. But when we come out on the other side, we are actually better for it for having overcome the challenge. How many of us have ever experienced that? As much as we try to warn another person that we love of impending peril, because we can see it, it's their lesson, not ours to learn. It's theirs. The sad thing is that while we're all in this life together, other people's lessons affect our lives when we live alongside of them. In the end, we all have combined challenges to bear. Have you ever felt affected by somebody else in your world, in your life, that's going through something and they just don't get it and all that schmutz is on you and you're trying to help them? We are in each other's mishigas, but we have our own lessons to learn, both as we experience it with someone that we love, they're going through it, but also how we choose to adapt to it, to influence it, to accept it, and to try to all grow together. That's how our souls evolve, in relationship, in partnership, in community. So with Pharaoh, as each plague was rejected, the Israelites and the Egyptians were subject to such extraordinary peril. Not the Israelites, though. They saw it. They experienced, they saw what was going on, and they got to experience that they were spared and that was the miracle. But they still observed what was going on. They were still themselves, in a sense, even though the miracle was there, living under the cloud of chaos. In the end, God's plan is revealed and achieved, but along the way, a lot of darkness, angst, and turmoil had to be endured. When miracles are present, when messages are sent, we have to ask ourselves, what might it take to be open to receive them, to accept them, to listen to them? If someone's coming to us and saying, hey, you need to take a look at this, and you're like, no, I think I know what's going on, and when we're the one that's on the other end of it, maybe we need to take a moment and pause and say, okay, let me consider this. I'll consider it. I'll be open. I won't have my heart be closed to the growth and the message that may be there. That's what we want for all of us. We have to look at it and say, is our mind in the way? Is rational thought, when we get a message or somebody's coming at us or we're trying to explain to somebody else, is the mind explaining away the prophetic insight that's there so that our loved ones actually ignore and then endure more chaos than is necessary until everyone is open to receiving and seeing the light? We are all messengers in each other's lives. We are all Moses and Aaron, all of us. God is present, trying to help us, but the plagues are present. Even today, we are amongst this plague of COVID. The plagues are there. And we have to adapt, and we have to grow, and we have to change who we are and how we live and how we look at things and fight to maintain our sense of positivity and reframing how we respond to one another and live in our world. So as we begin this new year, let us remember that even today, these plagues remind us of the fragility of life, how precarious it is, and what a gift it is. And that when things are said to us or when we have something to share with somebody else, that we need to open up our hearts to be able to receive it so that what we experience is filled with promise and light. Let us be sensitive to the role that we play in each other's lives when we're trying to relay a message of support and understanding of another's heart, which may be hardened because they are not ready to receive. Let us accept that, as Pat Nixon once was quoted as saying, "Why am I caught up in your karma?" We are all souls entwined in each other's lessons, in Judaism, each other's tikkun. And the burden to bear is actually collective. The promise can only be realized when everyone participates in the plan. Things are put on us, darkness, our lives are going one way, and all of a sudden there's all this calamity, and there's destruction or there's disease and dis-ease, but we're all in it together. And when we can approach it with an open heart and a willing mind, when we can surrender our ego and our personal agenda of how we thought it should be or how it could go, and just understand that actually we need to go with the flow, rise above our own selves, and just be open to something greater, we can then reach for the miracle. May God's miracles of past times inform our future, especially as we start this new secular year. And may we find the blessing that was promised with a willingness to remain open and fully receive. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may it be God's will. Shabbat Shalom. So now we're going to put out the blessing of healing for those that are in need, page 371 for the Mishaberach. We were going to be celebrating and maybe doing a blessing for Mark and Sandra Reichert up here for their 45th anniversary on the Bima, but Sandra fractured her arm, walking the dog. She's okay, but she's home. We send a refuah shlema to her. Happy wedding anniversary. Siman tov and mazel tov to you both. We will bless you in front of the ark when she's well and able. We have people in our community that are suffering and that have their physical and emotional and mental challenges, and we wish all of them a refuah shlema, a healing of body, mind, and spirit, and for those around the world who are suffering as well. Please, in your mind and in your heart, if you need to say your own name or other people's names, just please embrace everybody, see them in your light, see your loved ones, send them this gift of love and light and blessing and healing. Mishaberach Avotenu Mekor Havracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach Imotenu Mekor Avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. May everyone have a full and complete healing. The bottom of page 586 says, the ark is open, please rise for the Elena. Bottom of 586, and it continues on the next couple of pages. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, letei gidula le'oser b'reishit, shelo asanu kegayei haratzot, velo samanu kemishvahot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kalhem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech, Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Shehu Notei Shamayim Be'yosed Haaretz, U'Moshe V'Yekaro B'Shamayim Mima'al, U'Shechina Duzo, V'Govhei Meromim, Hu Eloheinu Ein Od, Emet Malkeinu Efes Ulato, Kakatu V'Torato, V'Yadata Hayom, V'Yadata Hayom V'Hashevota El Levavecha, Ki Adonai Hu HaElohim, B'Shamayim Mima'al, Ve'al Haaretz Mitachat Einod, V'Ne'emar, V'Haya Adonai, L'melech al kol haaretz, V'yom hahu, Yeh Adonai echad, U'Shmo echad. Please be seated. And now we come to our Kaddish prayer on page 598. If you have lost someone in the last 7 days, would you please rise and say your loved one's name? Please stay standing.
My best friend, we agree.
Sorry. Our pleasant prayers to her family. Yeah, I know she had brain cancer. And if you've lost someone, oh yes, now in the last 30 days, please. Okay. Cynthia Cohen, yes, I think she had brain cancer, right? Yeah, so she passed away, I guess. Yeah. Our Cynthia Cohen, from before. Yeah. May her memory be for blessing and all everybody else that's lost their loved ones. And so Sunny? Anybody else? The last 11 months, if you've lost someone, please say their names and raise your hand if you're already standing and you want to say something. Diana. Sunny. Thank you. If you're observing the yard site of an anniversary of a loved one's death, my husband for his father, Al, yes. And go ahead, Joel.
My father,
Okay. So, Shelley, thank you. Dorothea? Sunny? Stay. Joy and Bob? Anybody else? Our prayers go out to everyone that's remembering the grief and the loss of loved ones at this time and also around the world. And if we'd all rise together, we'll do the Kaddish prayer. And as we know, like Joy is related to Debbie Friedman, we sing her music all the time. Page 598. I'll raise my hand when I say V'yimaru. You can say Amen if you're not doing the whole prayer and get the merit of having said it. Or if you're at home and you don't have a book and you don't know it. Yikadal, Yikadash, Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma, Divrach, Yeruteh, Ve'yamlich, Machuteh, V'chayechon, V'yomechon, V'chayeh, L'chol Beit Yisrael, V'agalav, V'yizman Kari, V'yimru. Yehei Shemei Rabbah, Mevarach, Le'alam, U'lalmei Amaya. Vit barach, vit tabach, vit ba'ar, vit raman, vit naseh, vit hadar, vit alev, vit halal, shemeda kudashabrehu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush v'chata v'nechamata, da'amiran be'alama v'imru. Yehe shalama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'el Yisrael v'imiru. Amen. Oseh shalom v'imromav, hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu v'el Yisrael v'imiru. Amen. May God, who is the creator and author of all seen and unseen, be with our loved ones in the heavenly realm. Be with all of us when we have our grief and our mourning, and let us know that there is light and that we are all connected, whether it's in the physical realm or the spiritual realm, we are all one. And together, let's say amen. Please be seated as we have some announcements from our president. Good to have you here.
Everybody's always afraid I'm going to break my neck. You have no idea how close I come.
But doesn't she look good? She's a strong woman.
You bet. I just can't open paper. I'm working on it. Aha. Well, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Welcome to all of you who are here in our building, and I see some people I haven't seen in a long time, and I'm so glad to see them. And I see that we have some people we haven't seen before. And if you are here for the very first time, would you stand up and give us your name? Welcome. Come and talk to me later. Say hello. Thank you, Mark Tannin, for doing. Did I miss anybody? No. For doing such a great job on the live stream. I don't know what we'd do without you. We hope you enjoyed your dinner tonight, those of you who were here for dinner. Marcia, thank you. You did such a great job. And there she is. You know, some people you really can't do without, and she's becoming one of those people. Okay. Our service tonight is sponsored by Mark Tannin in loving memory of his father, Albert Tannin. Our flowers are sponsored by Mark and Sandra in honor of their 45th anniversary. Okay, we're going to have to celebrate another time, and the wishes are still there. It's just that we don't celebrate it quite the same way when Sandra's not here. You know, some people, when you ask them how they feel, they tell you everything there is possibly going on with them, including down to the hangnail on their thumb. Not me. You ask me how I am. Some of you know it's been interesting. I just say, oy vey, don't ask. Just thought I'd mention that. So if you ask me how I am, I'm going to say, oy vey, don't ask. All right. Thank you to our wonderful, wonderful Rabbi Cantor. Beautiful service. And to our very talented musicians, including Dan Spector, who is the best. And to, of course, Marianne on violin, Hilda on harp, Amy on baritone uke, and Stacy on percussion. Aren't you guys wonderful? I don't know what we'd do without you either. Give them a hand. They deserve it. They're so good. Lunch Bunch. Some of you thought Lunch Bunch was going to be this week. And I'm glad it wasn't, because as you know, I thought I was losing my dog this week. But my dog has decided he's not going to die this week. Right, yeah. Buddy. So Buddy is still functioning, and I'm very relieved. And so Lunch Bunch has been moved to the 25th of January, that's Wednesday. And we're going to be at Good Stuff, right? Assuming they answer their phone? Or we'll just show up. In PV, yes, at 11:45. Okay? And let me know if you'll be joining us, and there'll be an email going out. Sisterhood has a Zoom meeting. Pat, where are you? Pat, it's this coming Tuesday? 7 o'clock. Link going out on Monday. So look for the link if you want to attend the Sisterhood meeting. Looking for people and ideas. I don't know anybody who isn't, but okay. All right. Thank you. Sunday, January 29th, we are going to be meeting for lunch at the Whale and Ale in San Pedro. That's 327 West 7th Street. Followed by theater at 2 p.m., matinee Pick of the Vine, several short plays at the Little Fish Theater, 777 Center Street in San Pedro, and tickets are $27.50 per person. So please let Marcia Crabtree know if you want to go and pay Temple Emet. The meal is separate. The tickets are $27.50 per person. We already have 16 people. Wow, word gets out fast, see? You don't want to miss this. This is good stuff. All right. Oh, yeah. Dinner and movie, Tuesday, February 7th at 4:50, showing of 80 for Brady at the AMC Rolling Hills. And dinner is at 7 o'clock at Islands at Rolling Hills Plaza. And please purchase your seats on either side of E6 and E7 so we can all sit together. And this is the one with all those fabulous women who are playing 80-year-olds, and one is better than the other. I would go just to see them because we haven't ever seen them all at one place at one time. Again, let Marcia know if you're going. And please note that our Norwex fundraiser is on Saturday, February 4 at 12 noon. And let Marcia know if you want to be there in person, and there's something nice for you if you are there in person, or watching on Zoom, and you can even make a purchase if you can't be there in person or on Zoom. Just let Marcia know. So, did you all hear that? 25% of everything we purchase goes back to Temple Emet. Yes? Norwex. Marcia, can you give a brief description of what Norwex is?
Norwex, it will change your life. They're cleaning products mostly that clean without the use of water. You stop purchasing Windex and 409 and bleach and any kind of cleaners, and sponges. I keep my sponges now for 6 months or longer, and they don't smell, and all you need is water and these various different cloths that they make. And they clean 99% of bacteria, and they don't smell, and you can wash your windows and your floors and your counters and your dishes, and it's just the most magical products on earth. They have bath towels and face towels, and I can't say enough about it. Yes, everything's organic. They do make different kinds of soaps and cleaners for various things, but for the most part, all you need is water and their cloths.
Okay, well, that's terrific. And I don't know about you, but I'm going to somehow try to find this stuff and listen for their presentation. It's going to be right here, and it's going to be on our TV. Right. Yeah, she swears by them.
I gotta say, I get too tired to wash my face at night now. Sometimes I can just take one of their cloths and rub my face, and that's all I have to do.
Your face is cleaner than ever.
You got a great face, Amy.
It might be interesting just to see what it is and what it does.
Interesting. I'm looking forward to it.
I just am so in love with them. When is it? February 4th, I think, here, or on Zoom.
There has been emails going out about how to, go in. I think the Zoom link, is it on already?
It might have gone out once, but I'm going to send it out.
Yeah, it'll go out again. It's out. Okay. You definitely want to look into this, people. This is something very, very special and very new, and leave it to Marcia to figure it out.
Anybody that I've introduced it to that have purchased any of it, fall in love with it.
Okay? You have heard it, and you can tell everybody you heard it here. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom. Well, we have a lot going on, don't we? Those announcements are like a sermon. Good job. No, it's wonderful that we're starting out the year very gung-ho, and we're going to keep that pace as we go forward into the exciting yonder that awaits us. So, that being said, we're going to rise if we're able and bless one another with the Birkat Kohanim, the priestly benediction. And then, what's our closing song? How about Adon Olam, since we didn't have a service earlier in the month? So if you want to get yourselves ready, the Adon Olam is on page, I think it's on 625, yes? But first, we're going to bless each other. So at this time, we ask that the divine be with us, ever present, helping us to have our hearts be wide and open and receptive and not hardened, either in our own life or in reflection of how we bump up against others. And may we go forward into this new year with love and light and abundance for the purpose of sharing. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Yaher Adonai panav alecha v'yichuneka. Yisa Adonai panav alecha v'yasem lecha shalom. King Yiratzon, may it be God's will. Adon Olam, page 625. Thank you once again to our fabulous musicians, to Marsha for our fabulous dinner, for Mark and Sue for being up here on the bima, for everyone who has participated, those of you who have shown up in person, and those of you on live stream. Shabbat Shalom. Adon Olam. Deep breath in. Page 625. Deep breath out. Adon Olam, Asher Malach, V'terem Kol, Yetzir Nivra, Leit Nasa, V'chesoho, Azai Melech, Shemo Nikra. Ve'acharei kiklot hakol levado v'imlo nora v'hu haya v'hu haveh v'hu yihyeh v'hu yihyeh v'tzivara. Asher malach b'terem kol yetzir nivra le'et nasa v'cheso kol azay melech shemo nikra ve'acharei kiklot hakol levado imlo nora v'hu haya v'hu hoveh v'hu yiyeh v'tzivara. Adon Olam asher malach b'terem kol yetzir nivra le'et nasa v'cheso kol azay melech shemo nikra ve'acharei kiklot hakol. Let's keep our ride.